Alright, no cry won pa no say Nyankopon enya chira wie de abode bia ni ho betima ye ho bibi. Na etoda wan kasa na ya na usuro. Ehu nso bia Nyankopon chira na ehu nti ompese obebie wa no krompo aka ama abode bia odim se ono no wo plant bia against you no behu say yes wan kasa so wadi atu. Etoda dia no na me de ma me ehwe na me de wiase krade na be ye na me krade mbeja obeja ya beja isa na ekoye pa ma no se de be obeka ma obi ahu se enema koyi na sebi oni akon bia no so se pressure no so obepe kakra firi no kakaka ebe kakaka sa o de ma nyi ntum na Nyankopon koso enhira me di kwaku owusu aje pato aha original tv Mpensenmpensenmu ni aduru so no anopai ya boy adwuma from be say no numa ba be Sabre free Sabre come say be wonu do entrance era Frimpong Bonsu ewo yeah or a member of the government communication team international so be representing the new patriotic party na afin so Kojo Danquah and so a member of the NDC National Communication Bureau ebeni for akwaba
yeah
edomu wache
no correct pato mpanyin for say umfu do so uye ni na
mu de ina se se oye ntrowa na se aya na se oye mu de ina o
ye ni na ya kikabom enu nti na ena no pay wahunu wa hai me fi ha me kwa akoye foforo mfu ni doso ke wo se me ye ni na emom no emse ni na mu no ye hwese Nyankopon anu ankasa eno baji ye ntata ebetutu ya namon de ayeden e de amai ese pato na mamu ayedin na ho kire kodan na amane hunu se eno obia esu nti oza wo hyase no wo ka bibi se obi wo ha ekoyie ma no se enkoyie ma no pato enyo omo the issue is that se nipa na bia onya memfa ne se 10 Ghana cedis no onya bosumi bia enkan no nanke bia nipa 10 and depend on no you say because say enyumagu amanfo odwetira ahye ne ade nti no 10 depend on so na additional 10 asia be dey asia be ka ho so ho and apart from that ebia nka 10 na nanka wonya no ebia nkokwadwa mu a otimi to board ye beti mienu wato banche wato nam otimi da be ye nkwan ene sa 10 no board ye beti ba akokora na ntumi nto so enti ade aho kire ade osu ade adwadwo ade ohaw amane hunu ene kodanna ana abeto eye Ghana for so enti baby anya den enyoye and look endra na me ko baby pato na me fa eye taxi bi na taxi driver no pato no de paper ohun o de akata baby a eye fuo ni fuo gauge no baby a gauge no no o de paper akata ho ti eye na me hwe ni se di na say maza na paper de akata baby a fuo gauge we de ada de asemo asemaza taxi adwuma ye nya nipa wo koba nana fuo na so na ehye nti wan fa bibia nkata ho na wani ko boso na oyem hyew pe ahwa abe park adwuma no ntimi nto adwuma no so bio
ozo onye nipa zo wa na otinika no na ya dey
se on se o fomu a no nya ba ko bi ebia nkan no so on ebia nkofom bi ebia be 30 minutes obenya nipa be 10 but this time round 30 minutes no wanya nipa 2 so nti how no any amane hunu no adoso
what kind ma o kan say onye nipa no how did you feel because
but
we nipa wa fa taxi or the woko nipa okay at the point o hear nipa o share o fa e do woko no was onye nipa now what you ma say
me na makofo no and as ma ko won
taxi
ana
taxi driver ni na di nkomo ana oba no ne e be share nkomo
the taxi
no ni na kofro ya
taxi ti o me ba o
pato woni no na kofro ni taxi ya
pato ti
e da some be kra
pato
obi a kofro ni taxi
taxi driver oni udi nkomo kama was me nya nipa o wa udi so we nipa utima wenya wa afa wa be charge
em se na America no nya se wenya ntiase nso de a na ebo apayo ana wo pese se be utufu amanfo
also
pato utie Is it true? Say ene me no ka say. Ghana for the do no ame ayo ma adwene say you say taxes nya eye uba no mo mfu ebiwa na. Is it true? Yes, it is true because asentuade eden ekosoro. It obafo taxi no obakofo den trotro. So what abeka na say. Obi ho kro he jeni ni say kwan ne nwa oha no apo kada bi no aye den watena so. Obi ho mpo a oha so da bi ane he ya metumi cry den anante no wanante no ko. Enti first one yank obafo aye taxi ni na. Wona wanya den won fu bio. And it is because say aye petrol anase fan wa aye todigu aye taxes ni mu no. And the fan wo bo ne kosoro in the history of Ghana. Yenti bia bakosam da because fan wo a oba ye ne ton 14 Ghana cedi. And then say fan wo kro no 14 no and then 50 Ghana cedis. How many percentage increments na dey abeka ho? Ye ka o see Ukraine aye war, ye ka o see COVID war. O say
otobi ache.
Fan wo o me na park me car because me to fuel.
Ghana so ga chamber bi aton say anu akoto.
Oh na say me kra me dey na make anu so ho. E bro so pato nyame nhyira wo. Say nyese TV so aka me ka say chia. No nyame nhyira wo say wo ka no kra ma Ghana fo ate.
Oh na say.
So ate ase. Nyame nhyira wo. So eti ba bia ye dru no pato. Ahokyere ne kodanda ye wom ene ye kafu won sam a obete am say oh eh friend say China Ukraine hwan war. Wura fi say wan kasa wo sidi no a na hoden enkoyie no ni na aka ho na fu obo ne koso. Efi say wo sesa sidi no na ade akodola mu da akoto fa ho ne de aba. Eti say wo sidi la hoden koyia. Ene sidi ene na almost 9 Ghana cedis ana me bo abato. Eti ama nipa ho kire wo okwa abosu kan a. Ye nuanom a omotete omowrem eyi 2 billion 200,000 Ghana cedis. E de man na Danquah before they say won fanya campaign. Ha?
E be ye den.
E be green Ghana ho.
Ghana ho.
E be yi Ghana problems. O yi problems.
Ye yi na sira ne abasa.
Abusa say.
Ye yi na sira ne abasa.
How are you solving them?
O yi problems we.
Oh how e woman and how ni man.
Da bi on to fu.
O yi ni problems na say o yi Ghana problem.
See dollar na nipa ba ko problem.
Oh pato me be say question ya no.
Pato on to fu.
Say
dollar nipa problem.
Okay, me be say question yi man no.
No obisa.
Or pointing out the problems and answer them. Because starting preaching, say or also
Sir.
Kojo Danquah, me near Kojo Danquah. He say or also
Kojo Danquah.
Kojo Danquah. He say why also or a street preacher.
Ah, me also for that ben.
Ah. Now I say JDM all then you also for.
The strategy ni yenya. Okay, so. But the strategy ba say yenya. Mani they all can na we are obe
you. Na mami we na born tougher. Na so wo yi bia na the man Ghana for. He. But when I make be say okwa boso kan. Wonu say enuanom a. Omo ye spare parts dealers. Omo titi omo morem agigi sika 2 billion tete ho de no. That 2 billion no say yes yes wo dem ha. Yes say 1 Ghana no ti yes wo dem ha. Wa hwa ne ha be ye pe. Anya de ma then candidate Akufo-Addo say nana wo de wa boy an ho ba wa hye mbo wo so ba wo be nuisance taxes afi ho wo so ba wo bete dollar no so ama dollar na cedi no ene dollar na ho de no agina pe anase wo ma cedi na ho de na akosoro sen dollar no eti ye de we bo chidom je fa ye adwuma se ne be ya Ghana fo beto aba ma wo ya nkasa nso ye de ekokromoti power ye de ba be boa wo ne ye de yiw amwa be ye Ghana man panyin abaye Ghana man panyini wi a hwese obeboa yen ama ye hwan den aha ne yen ama dollar no ahoden na ekosoro no a ene ebusidi no eno so saa yi na aso be ye den so bete pato unim se wo mudi sikai ma president Akufo-Addo then candidate Akufo-Addo wo da abosu kanfo ase ene abosu kanfo osu ene mu twaadwo wo mo ka president Akufo-Addo so munya ma asem mentie ni obi aka na den aboso kan for sabe mani afira muhu ade ana nyame ye nti muhu so anti monte eno ana eduru ba bi na se mehu na mete sansem no a na ama mesia fem se omampanyina ya to aba ma na wo manfo complain se niam enkoyie ena kwan na practice apansa hwe minority majority leader in the constituency it is not true why figure omampanyini e de call friend say parliament okobo so no That figure is different from what the minister and so come also parliament. Are you aware?
And I know.
Have you almost over 5,000 kilometers of road? Hey, you mean from her to China? Then go for Ghana for. You be so mama so your party porto say I'm gonna be a Danquah near the Abogum cry ya crying ya. And don't see young fan credit to them. Jesus Christ. Such an incompetent, insensitive government like this. You see, I thought maybe I do know. Look, I was a Ghana for yes, what a waka. Now, yes, actually, and said, yes, I am you. No, near cannot credit a byway. I'm a byway when you're free will, do. Your man wa queen yellow do. I'm at one funny dear Magana for one yang, one ferry yang. Because a buyer, or did dear Magana for buyang, a boise, or better Magana a tomb pono, pato, and send me a and wasn't come here the Omaka. Na yejeje Ghana ye to na near the mawa president Kufuor buy pato sika nko aba ne futuom about 500 billion your friends saying tax revenue grants loans and your friends all the revenue about 500 billion. And the question we ask ourselves and say 500 billion and then the president Kufuor what dey
that's Kojo
ye nim so dey say me DC ye nim so dey say what the sabo sika nimu a no afa e bia be 15,000 euros. Was me da high private jet because me president Kufuor me person me dware wo hwem me president Kufuor me hia eye wemhyen a eye 5-bedroom wemhyen a empawom bibia wom na matrentre me nam na mada
Eja Bonsu akwa babiu
ebato
bia boko de
oh nyame adom
anso ho te se obi na mbisa ntse no ho te se antini na pom no what is that? I don't know.
And any me Kojo Danquah dem say wa unim say obi a waye say waye a street preacher there na no dey ati
I don't know offering a street preacher. Is it because okono akwa church almost Olivia
ure fi say ojina market ni kwa mu na o preach ohun ye da bi ohun ye
okan mahu
ato wahu
no mahu ni videos bia o church enkofo niam ekoso aban mu ene your friend say
o church dey ekoso aban mu enu nti na omu design say government communication member
abi onu nye government
and mo flyer omu ye no mu
so onu nye
government communication member and
abi enti
o church dey man o church ma am say ne kwan so
ese me boa mu ebo na me boa mu so hu
o boa mu
because mo no ene ma no na mu church
me ba o
ti e de ko fe ma mo na Ghana fo ya kire mu no matensem no ase o ti ase appreciation of the issue
what cheer you
ene o so chia
Kojo wa cheer you pato ma menchia ayefo ni etiefo na menchia menua I'm say me hu ni di na me dey say me ni share ya chepa. The last time me in the course set I'm say ETV a chepa sometime a chena. Me hu no me follow na yin so. Unim or the be be two face na me comment ya on film. No a share there yin ani. I said the own we no about like no con baby. Every time me ka say why a market and street preacher because say ejuma e dey a share nsa. Na JDM actual Bible amano nti Bible no nsem no kotu no de enu bi no ye na no pe na em say wato ye nyina ye nim ewiase enoma ekoso nsem asisi atruye nchem yare nsem Matthew Makawa ekoso wiase nyina nipa ye ti wiase no I'm say we are confronted with. Na sebi yebu man. Ena ababia so ba problems are obeto ye no. O try so obe solve. O solve o ko enim so na bi so ya da be ka ho. Na wa trance na wa dwentwen na wa hwekwan obefa so a odi ye beto ayi ama eno ma akoso. Eno na aban eye. Na nsema woto ato a woka se sebi se obeso woka ni yi a wabe preacher bi preacher a okoti from Bible meboa wo text wo scripture a wo support enka o tiantian mu a woka se nenka o my figures evidence based nenka de hu se yeah can say ni net here.
Emu to say the emu sa na ka pay.
Unti remote o say abanya sika 500 billion. Oko gina dwom na over 500 billion. Oko gina dwom na kasa asemu ya. Sebi obi a sebi o
I can give you breakdown.
Obi a oye nyansafo a otimi analysis no be hu sebi akowie na oye.
I can give you breakdown.
Two. Sometimes your communication na enoma ekoso ewo ye man mu no. They happen in communities and people see, people testify. Amanfo hu. Say kase aban ne okanya or say onyintum. Aban say why kwan asene aban bi a aban. The communities and the people themselves see because one say ono kase aban say onye kwan no ne kwan atete ampa nsamwa. And can you show mu history? They touted themselves as say backline and infrastructure and Kumayebi. And no Mpensenmpensenmu bo pro or baby no can say but chini my Ghana nyina. Baby amekobia krubi esu say ne kwanya say. And nti abanda da no kwanya also we and say bi e osura na say wo form because we kwanya said da ho manipa nyina hu. And so baby amekobia obi e de adesrede to omampanyin anim say ye kwan asenti be ye obi esu e wo kwan ho aban so age atum and I can tell you for a fact and someone all can nyina say sometimes ya na ndc for ka say aban oman atete ampansam no for a fact say aban atete ampansam even in the midst of global crisis no a normal be on my continuously doing it. Me kwaya do me kwa benya kwa kitase me no kasai contractor was so all yes is here ufa pokuase nsawam kwaya amanfo asu free president Kojo na ebe free circle e de kwa animu kakra ma ye na say me no kasai contractor was so all ye okay ukonkrasie ayiya mikrom Kenya ase hwidiem Kenya ase kwan aban atu ene Newmont atunsa Newmont ebuama ekwan na de yaye ekwan aban we aye no obia ni tua baby eda yenka se sebi ye de heaven abagana obia ni tua nanso in the midst of crisis ogina da bia ogina market ka se aban we atoto apansam aban we ye say amanfo ho kire omu no so no amanfo nso ebo aban abaso se wo hwe ayi anano ni minuanum bi press conference wa Ashanti region omo se Kwabre area omo kwaya se omo obi nso ba be kan se wo hwe aban we ya Ashanti region kwanya aban we aye no etwam wo hwe enkran ya ye te ase ya ina Rose aban we aye no so can etwa so ewa
on Ashanti region former NTB so press conference bi omo say aban MPP aban ni omo ni yi no
eno na make ho asem Kwabre fo no omo no Kwabre omo say Kwabre kwan na atete ampansam na no obi bisa ba sem bi sebi aban bi eno ho no within 4 years oba obetimi akase ma solve Ghana problems nyina but in a way say sebi ye nyina ye agi atum ne aka no kre ne assess ne ahwe neoma ye de neoma agunsani ano na ya we ya ubetimi o say aban we in the midst of crisis no aban we akoye nimpa ye gitum obi agitum we ase nyina anya Ghana nko say we ase ayeden and minuanum enim they know say truly every country is in a way, in a form of crisis. But one thing that there be a mechanism.
Are you proud of how you are managing the crisis?
You see, yes, we are proud because the issues confronting us and the measures that are we believe, say, at the end of the day, near Ghana for a session. Because one, when you do the analysis, Pato, Babemu 2017. Okay, 2017, 2018, 2019. Globally, this government was touted as one of the best. And I until crisis hit. And say the American, I buy beer no, I want to make say me buy and problems when I buy me buy best of where we ain't. As you go along, you are hit by other because even in policy, when you are solving one policy problem, it even creates another policy problem for you to solve. And no maybe one man even you are not aware. And one thing sebi yana yes and say I don't know baby I could be American say Ghana I was say yeah they are sit down ready say any time there's global crisis NPP are buying and also and we are able to solve it you to me ede o man see jina bia yeah you say ampa ye dey do baby send American well a drew maybe I was say ye jitum say propaganda does not build a nation because minia any adwuma away and what decided so be side no enka even if they took it upon themselves say we are part of nation building use that process to educate people okay in business development ye be chiro say yes ye bu o man yenye ni say ni nya contribute na yenko yanim ba won ko gina no pa wi anwumre na won kasa na mo ho kire mo say ni go and tell them as you are pointing the challenges na ye won go and tell them say ye ba we ni e di be gu akwa mu a ye betimi a solve no. Let me ask them what are the alternative solutions in the midst of criticize no omo catch the Ghana for say ye ba in the midst of this global crisis say ni na ye be ye. Well, the difference between NPP and the NDC when we criticize we give alternatives say ye ba ye be say and we did it obia tout say we were on course until we were hit by crisis.
Alternatives. For instance, see the Muslim being
and then I make a choice.
At a point in time, the vice president, that's what the key crime IGP.
Oh,
now
you see,
CD.
You see, I don't know make
say.
Pato, I don't know make sure say. Say we solve the problem. My friend say you're on the right path, and all of a sudden you can be shame. It will hit you. It can reverse everything that you are doing until you get back and reflect and re-strategize.
It is pragmatic. Say, are they deliberate? Are they being pan deliberately? Yeah, Munim say, are they way pan who say, yeah, they are solving Ghana problem. Say, this our problem here, we are yatia say, girlfriend saying, COVID. I've seen His Excellency the President can say, when you come over fast wa. Obetimi asesa economy na mom kwan obefa so a nipa wu obenya
yes
obe what yet sad and ye boy nsem ma no say ya wie COVID no Ukraine ni we say aba there na ban here
okay what be some question
deliberate at the
mami nyi wa no what be some question mami nyi wa no I think after COVID this government wrote up a program called Obatampa okay na ni nyina kire say the COVID ban. These are the things that you solve. It was presented to Parliament. Now government implementing all the government implementing. Then the Ukraine Russia issue also came up, and it hit us. So you have to go back and also re-strategize. What this government is doing. Okay?
What did we start? Ukraine best say no.
Obatampa a lot of startup capital. Okay, even in the midst of this, government is introducing the youth startup.
Startup capital.
Nobody.
You see, because on wa bam. It is anema we say so I want us me say who say deliberately. Idea we say COVID hit here. anamawa bia ya hyase a ye tutu a pese ni ye ho frim ebi ni wa bo batampa no be ye den eye den na ye ya obetimi a kire Ghana for se mon kai se ye sei saa de we ana ne di ye ho firi o ha no ebi ye de ahia
eno na make sure say the batampa program it rolled out a number of interventions
yeah den bibi te sesen kan bibi se we na ye obatampa no we bi now be obatampa no de ete that is finance Mr. Boy na ye den I no na kire say eno ne dey so COVID problem now
one this government came out with a number of interventions in the midst of all these crises. Government continued say the flagship programs will continue, we'll find money send it by the bishop. Okay, 2020 after COVID, government declared the year of roads, and road infrastructure was one of the key things to link production and other things for us. Okay, 1, 2. There was this issue about entrepreneurial development. Okay, to cushion the private sector in a way, send the private sector could create a number of jobs for us, so that we can push up production. So what I must say, this government is a governmental. We have believed in the private sector intervention. Okay, almost all the things that government wrote out say, it was based on collaboration with the private sector. So what I must say, all in the midst of all these crises, the interventions our government we were rolling them up. They were continuing. Okay, as a way a beboye ama yetumi ede ejina ye nan so.
What can be about policy? So it gives me an impression that what a policy who say what share policy we are say a bit me akwa we I could create problem we say no me ade. Most start say mo roll out more policies. I'm who say you know say even some of more near na mo ye no say or as to renchem kran to yen a kwan be fa so am be na ebi wo ha na ebusa questions em benye ska we and I say be etesa for instance his excellency krampo the agenda 111 or ankasa atum say he was over ambitious
agenda 111
I say
he was over ambitious
I don't say that one
what kind of even
me mean
the crowd of account of parliament recently crashed was so but
they no go Ghana for
agenda 111
so yes, you see.
No. So we can't say. What I'm saying, me can't. They are quite close. Say, they are quite close. Say, until to rent and be hit ye na ye kono. One more no. Say na mo see aye. Have you had to sit down, look at it, and fine tune? Bibi or ho. I mean, in Kofa mo a show monsa me can ministries na or ho no bibi fufuro bi sonko bi or ho ama yes ya e kire say. Say na ne etu anamo but bibi o say o hye mpabo afoforo nante esesa
ya
hye mpabo afoforo nte say na ye nante ete say na te bibi wo ho bi ehu keche bia wo say bia afei na te say de o ka say MPP for say de mutie ka bia we na ka keche ye hu no he reshuffle krampa ya ka wasem na mon system na munye we munye reshuffle munye reshuffle no he
reshuffle
ade kro no aka no say ball kro no na e bo say 442 a say 2 top or say 3 top say eno a ye unu keche bia
pato let me every program has inbuilt mechanisms they monitor evaluate ehun say almost succeed and so almost succeed. If you design a program and you don't have any inbuilt mechanism to monitor and evaluate, then even before you start implementation, it has failed. Government has all these things, and we know. This reshuffle thing, I'm out for a year when they did any other day. Mommy and Kabibi, you see, our constitutional architecture, it gives the authority to the president. The constitution says the president is the ultimate decision maker. We are practicing an executive presidency. So the bus stops with the president. He is the ultimate decision maker. At a point, he decides, me per se Kojo Danquah, and a way mame. Okay? If he feels, say, Kojo Danquah is meeting his expectations, okay? He might not, he will decide, say,
President, the expectations are different from the area.
You see, a very
the expectations, no, yet. Susan, so I buy a son. I don't know, and as a president, or different expectations from the area who say,
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. I believe, say, Pato, only me, ebe dia dance here. Say, we have a listening government. Ghana for council, so to my say. Sometimes, unjidan krani into two krani. As you are rolling your programs, yes, the people, the beneficiaries, will come and tell you, say, Bia, ka uye ni say, maya, ebeboy. But at the point two, when you get those, intervention as a feedback, you need to sit down and reflect. Okay? Send a beya obetimi a change your the face of everything that you are doing, which this government is listening. Okay, at a point.
What is it? Ghana for so near racial what?
Oh, and president.
He cherry picks what to listen.
First of all, bisa for reshuffling. Bisa, we need to come and say, reshuffle, Kojo, Echo Ajua office, now Ajua Kwame officer. These are the benefits. Every government.
It's a coach. Say unkoyi na ayi for kase.
Na spectators shout say you wait film ma. Coach free wa no akopane na me comfort say be transgender ba be trans.
Na no me te say me hu Gabi tweet bi. Ya na e ka say reshuffle omo kan reshuffle no. Omo kan asif say reshuffle no nya ba pe COVID hunsem Ukraine war hunsem.
There be obisa opposing rhetorical questions.
So yes.
Will it solve this problem? Will it solve that problem? Before that, nega binanga say tweet say the president has heard and is considering. Before I start tweeting him, but at the end of the day, you see, sometimes I don't know why some people take my friend say Bibi a Gabi Beka as government.
Oh, but most of the times, easy.
You see, one prime minister. Who now appointing the prime minister?
No prime minister.
Kojo Danquah.
Dr. Bamumia.
Yes, sir. We are not being fair to the gentleman.
No, but I'm not even. No, we are not discussing. No, we are not describing Gabi. We are not discussing Gabi. Mr. Mama Danny. Being fair, then let's discuss issues.
So what I'm saying.
Oh no, that's somehow me never told because the name can say the inter me cover there no. Ebem the name the Bible can say it is beginning to look like I say amount for dream say. I can say yen system faso bi nya de say nsisamu no dem faso bi abeba. What I say? Say na I said abanya fa no. Say they said they can more internal mechanism. You know, your expectations, you know, are different from Momo de no.
No, that is not what I said. I said, say, you see, with the policy management Mpensenmpensenmu, and from my experience and my knowledge, okay, when you are implementing policy at a point, you need also to go back to the beneficiaries and listen to them.
But you have come back to us. We are saying change inside. Change inside.
System. System. Maybe reshuffling does not happen in a vacuum. Okay. Government will what's a government nyabutai say me ye we me pese me de we kwa no koye we pese we me de we kwa no koye we. I think Ocean national security there has been some changes, right? Maybe a gradual process.
Okay.
As I told you, government is coming out with new interventions after they decided they call IMF for the enhanced program.
This is what saying can other
government is on course. let us be patient with government as it rolls out, because we still believe in the idea, say, we are the best when it comes to reviving economy. We are the best. And yet, any kasa, any propaganda, but a focused intervention, Ghana for it may have a positive impact on Ghanaians.
But what I say, you call to join more, you mom pioneer Nanya Copansi. Say crisis we buy an MPP for the Wabem.
I'll expose him.
You are not exposing me.
I'm going to expose him. You see, but before I expose him, the kind. Also, year of roots and all the buying, it was even after COVID. Before COVID, more like a year of roots, and after COVID, most of the buying, Yamu to a Diego. Also, about Tampa program.
Okay,
maybe you see, they believe me, Pacho.
I gave you
no, Naboche.
I gave you. Me wa pen credit.
You see, you are very Ghana fool. Oh, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm funny dear Magana for. What about how cow about Tampa program as some? What's up? Who would not parliament and now can't see a bayo about Tampa program. Sabe capre man nanga yabu to Kruya who be in the Batampa. Muso bizarno, no de wada, won't minka about Tampano near Frimubai. Also went to Mianca. Mufani dear Magana for Muyanka. Namumi who says Sabe, yes, so Sabe, nim dear. Ebio, also flagship programs. Hey, you see, all that they know is sloganeering. Sabi yen no yenum yen kan samwa eye akese en samwa sabo ko kacha ko hwede kura no anase mo otia se oni wachi mrafia obedi wachi abafie anu na yenu anu munim me part of flagship program ben pa na this government ana akoyie yenim no one village one dam ya butu won say minister no hwesa ade no so say we could not have built meaningful dams part of one thing
with sika modema
good, so it means that oman sit down papa bia ya butu one district, one factory. Moko see a signboard on for a factory, and Nimu pay big akramoma. Must a government a factory. Meanwhile, before 2016, Mokacha and Sabu see every district be our among the whole chat a buy.
In collaboration with private partners.
You see, in collaboration with
private partners. I mean, let me correct that.
Oh, no. Let me correct that. Pato. You see, in Sani Canada, Anka NDC.
No, but that is what they wrote in their manifesto. Dabi. That is what they wrote in their that is what they wrote in their manifesto. In line with what they promised.
No problem, but promises, were not only captured in the manifesto. Are you aware? We heard President Akufo-Addo, we heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on platforms. Baby, I resource. And to be resource, no more the factories. Now resource, no, ya Daniel and Abatomanka. I'm on your chat. I'm Anthony Abelifa Kabu. A converting crown. Ye bisa no so, who call a year offer. A year crown, Busu say, Tam, it's a basic dog factory.
Joseph. Joseph factory.
So you understand? So a boss of the say, and then no mudinti, one district, one factory, Yamutu. Even free as a
okay. There are some
and I may just say a man for her Casapre. A buyer.
No, but there are some factories in certain places now. Yeah, not baby and not factories in there. A friend is saying, Brekum, a friend is saying, don't forget Quansua, who tomato factory.
Agenda 111. Yeah, Casapre, Oman said it was over ambitious. Also, one thing so Oman Penini Casa was over ambitious. You see, yeah, 2 million yet to see it. Wait, 3news.com. The Pato Tieni. Shall call phone so. 30th March, Oman Penini called Parliament. State of the Nation's address. Also, Agenda 111 was overly ambitious. One can say ambitious, Keku. Overly ambitious. Akufo-Addo admits in Sona. Kojo Danquah na meka mo cameraman no
state of the nation address he said it
ene wa hayi mo
cameraman it is true
who ya no so to nchen
ya I heard him
who ya no so to nchen ya oso asamu ame Kojo Danquah make say omonya over 500 billion in less than a year 7 years no oso meka na sa keke enya no kure ma me nchirawo wo hwe aye your friend saying tax revenue abaya in just about 6 years ya yewomu ya over 210 billion tax revenue alone. We have loans abayaje over 275 billion. Your friends say overall now. More than other things Mohammed Fanka. Medicamo. More than is getting to about 600 billion. President Mahama. I'm not be the idea. Your friends say total revenue already 200 billion. When you over 500 billion. I don't know what they are. You count me and now we die.
I'm reshuffling now.
What can be COVID and ama or mine ide at the ide upon some me baby chawadi. World Bank for on websites here. June 28, 2022, unpublished article. I say every debt crisis begins with unheeded warning and ends with severe limits on investment in education, health, and infrastructure, among other things. I said, but it would be a mistake to pin the blame on the pandemic should those crises arrive. What bank for the can you Danquah make?
Yes, assembly bar. The one tier. Ne toa untimi nka se de esi eno no ne kofa sa de but what is also true, yes, it's true. What is also true, Kojo, what is also true is enye Ghana nkwa na etia because of COVID. Enye Ghana nkwa na etia because of Ukraine. We are all can comparatively say other countries are doing better. But it is unfair to say enye COVID that may she.
So I want to me be. Yabote. Me di kai. Me was you who say on minor economy e shall see to die even before COVID ever. And Kojo Danquah me metra mo me sire monka. O he my joy online 6 March 2022. World Bank and Ghana's economy showed signs of challenges even before COVID. Me pacho call the so ubehu. And science, you know, and be near me, but we have public data. In 2016, you feel a bear more buy. It was 120 billion. And go buy as of 2019 before COVID. Now public data raising from 120 billion. Now I can almost about 300 billion. Normally 225 billion, and I back public data. In less than about 3 years, 225 billion. So it means that our debt situation was worsening even before COVID. We are not so told debt to GDP. Before debt to GDP was 57%. On before COVID in 2019, not debt to GDP no 57%. No, now we equal 64% in 2019 before COVID. So why do you blame your woes on COVID? We are not so to interest payments on a finance and your debt, interest payments and amortization. And this time now interest payments in about 10.5 billion. 2019, before COVID, now interest payments are moving from 10.5 to 37 billion. So why do you blame that woes on COVID?
All right.
In any case, in any case, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say, if you say for name now, how be bad about it? If you say for name now, and until Casse. Nkwa na affect until other countries are affected. O can say ye enunti COVID. The question is eche Ghana nkwa na asa nche Ghana nkwa Cote d'Ivoire me pato eche wom na he Cote d'Ivoire hwe mu figures hwe Benin figures hwe Togo figures hwe Burkina Faso figures hwe Nigeria figures o have be to set deficit
they are doing better.
So nyame can say they cannot blame a year of mine no ma say no say a COVID na ma na ba because the other countries are one COVID no they went through it and so indicators
racial formation has solve problem now.
You see sabe odwa ya wagu no na wagu aban we reshafulo se wan reshafulo aban no nipa ewo mu betimi aye adwuma no wo mu anom ye adwuma no we have the men no mo bae no men no first league of men no ono de o maba no na sabe emfu impo na sabe ehuri titan na nne ye no mpo no mu husui na okofa eye backbenchers na de o maba ene eye frying pan to fire me kan asisu dua enne. You see, President Kufuor, yes, and Namano, said a profility and ameboa. President Kufuor, no one can no year penny. Sabe, one unit, a year Ghana for no, or Tom Yisica, the high aeroplane, Yakoka, where you say, hey, Moon, and where you say, but well. Anna, the vice president, and one, was say onu Ghana wiase nyansa ni na according to President Kufuor o say Nyankopon dia say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia team Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so na me no kase ono ye management economic management team ono ye head yi so ana ne dollar ama no mu ne so aye hunu ba bi a dollar yi nam head yi na petrol bo na agensem head yi na enyama bo aye the inflation in the history of Ghana for over 50 years ye hu bi that Professor Hank there's a US professor Wabeka say inflation baby and 30% near Kano. We are not calculating the inflation well. And that inflation as we speak, according to Onono Eyawayan, and then over 4%.
All right, before I go to him.
That is where we are as a country.
There were kind in
what's happening there?
There were kind in our granted say no credit. Or mine they are mismanaging it. Near friend say. Granted. Adeɛ fufuro bi wɔ hɔ a mo ahyehyɛ sɛ mo bɛyɛ na sɛ ɛyɛ dada na mo de bɛba.
Yi ahu sɛ enkofu wei no ɔmo hyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔmo mismanage. Adeɛ baako a na wɔ sɛ ɔmo hwɛ no mo di. Ɛyɛ friends and loans a na mo gye no dodoɔ no. Yɛsi ɔmo ntwa so. Ɔmo na in 2016 ohwɛ ɛyɛ page ɛyɛ 16 of their manifesto in 2016. Ɔmo sɛ they will reduce borrowing. Sanom kayo, but mo buy on loans
na more per re-election in 2016.
And make sure we
they are more by ya na nyanka mo anye yanka nam so anka sisi anka situation be better.
Ni di kai. Anka e friend saying besia hodo a mo gye left right center. I was said anka e twa so. Etike ba ya sa besia hodo besia hu ni mfa so no. And then ti o mo gye besia ni na because kenoforiata the company and I have transaction advisors into a quadrille the percentage into any more besiano near Yamfaso. The last time I bet told you that can over the companies can come over 226 million a year friends in dollars and non quite transaction advisors and walls going on. I don't know no more Jebesian Cabesiano and Cabeto so too. Wasteful and asset wasteful expenditure would have protected the public. They said one. So my penny better Ganiska. No they call for a private jet. No they call a be mine so at this can I send a quack and kill two. I have flagged about. She can't call just about last year about 3 billion. Not a year 2 years ago. They are about 700 a year million. Or the more than 100% that they call flagged house. We heard the power of our presidential staffers. Yeah, and us they about 600. No, one to call 1,600. Why? Sani Mary na kibede ye bitwa so. We have ministers a hodo am fire over 160 ministers. Ye bi Ghana security am ka ye bom ye fu ye mom cars ye mom be miensa. Ye mom ye cook ye mom security ye person ye mom gardener ye mom house up ye mom say ye mom fu o mom tohwe no. Sani Mary na kibete so. One me yes bi sika ade ya de papa.
Em say ubisa ni say what are the alternative solutions? It became noise. Okoti World Bank. Okay. When IMF came to assess the economy, let me quote what they said. Ghana is facing a challenging economic and social situation amid an increasingly difficult global environment. The physical and debt situation has severely worsened following the COVID-19 pandemic. I will say, in addition, the global economic shock caused by the war in Ukraine is hitting Ghana at a time when the country is still recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic shock and with limited room for maneuver. These adverse developments have contributed to slowing economic growth, accumulated of unpaid bills, a large exchange rate depreciation, and a surge in inflation. Now, what share we want? Now, there be our case. Say, can't say, man, you say COVID, you say Russia-Ukraine war. Globally, everybody knows. Say, these two, interventions have hit every country in the world.
You didn't get the figures you have.
What can I say? In the midst of all this, we are the best when it comes to economic management. In the midst of COVID, government Every month, they receive their salaries. Every public sector worker, throughout all these challenges, they receive their salaries. Their former president, in the midst of the difficulties, we were paying his salaries and his allowances. Oh,
president, vice president, almost not
didn't they return it?
Okay, so
you pay
them. I'm coming. Didn't government pay?
So you paid them.
Lodina. Was Lodina not collecting salary? Lodina. Those times, Lodina. 80 million budget. And no one Mami, young can create. So, me read it straight. Okay, me read it straight. Now let's say that we can. Every government intervention, even in the midst of COVID, in the midst of Ukraine-Russian war, government was able to keep to.
They are paying say a man is to bribri. Your PS no. No, but they are no more thing. No, numbers don't lie.
One, maybe
numbers don't lie.
Maybe.
No, me young croffer any or more. Near my sister.
You see,
your friend say.
You see, government came into power. With an ambitious project. Okay, initiative said we wanted to change the base of this economy. So most of the initiatives were transformational. And if you want to transform, you have to invest. If you want to transform, you have to invest heavily. Okay? And these were some of the things government, how
are the ROIs? What investment? What returns are we seeing? I was heavy investment.
You see, when you are doing transformation, you don't start to reap the overnight.
But there are signs that will tell you are doing
things. Yeah, there are certain things that are for the medium term, for the long term. For instance, free SHS. When you invest in free SHS and you build schools, you build dormitories, you pay children's school fees. How they are between 15 and 20 years. Okay, when do you think you can reap the benefits, contributions are making for you to recoup all these monies? It will take about 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
So when you invest in infrastructure, okay. So
the more who ni say nensu sanso no nye ne beba later you better mo say
ebi ohonom a okay the low hanging fruits anka Ghana for ye be benefit no and no na ama hit ye more by this COVID. For instance, if for a whole year teachers are not going to the classroom, enterprises, businesses are not paying, are not operating. They are not paying taxes to government, but still government programs are running. Government is spending. Government is paying salaries. Government is paying allowances to teachers, to nurses. Do you think it will be the same? You ask yourself.
So you ask yourself, say, no, maybe, yeah, and I make a say, Pabwa Fufro, and said, the Nanti BCI, or them, yeah, you expect Ghana for Sankayamo and some mouth. Because of my free water, because you encourage man out to
yes,
yeah, because frontline workers, so more muska,
yeah,
and know your friend, all in the name of COVID,
yeah,
and a fight against COVID. But Ghana for we are and Kasano Musa Kacho say, Niama Western, Yankofo and no more, you know, so from hindsight,
I won't
from hindsight.
I won't sit here.
You say some of the decisions now be able to take it to say, Nka, so frontline workers sika omunkrojuma etuamoka enom ne ade no nka bia nka ye betimi ehunu kwan fofora ye betimi dia afaso.
Yeah, I think say near okay. I wouldn't sit here and say Ghana for didn't appreciate the government. If they didn't appreciate us, they wouldn't have even re-elected us in 2020.
We didn't re-elect you.
Anyway,
but you did what?
What we but there's one issue. I
will say it's a peripheral.
Oh, peripheral. They say
and my opinion.
Because
only
peripheral.
In the midst of all this, send American, okay. The short-term benefits when these global crises come, the short-term benefits are also governments Emma.
Okay.
So Emma, so we need to get our loans. Send American, one, they lack credible alternative solutions to our problems. They are not able. The only ones say let's criticize, let's do propaganda. But what exactly do you think, sir? If you were in power, but they've not come out with any. The only thing I say, and
in 3 minutes, you have a calls in 3 minutes. Do you think, sir? I was say, Ghana card Danquah the only document I wait me there.
Pato, you see,
what do you think about it? In 3 minutes?
Our electoral process has evolved. So we share a normal akosu from 92. We started with ID cards without pictures, nothing. We started with ballot boxes and then yet transparent. We have gone through a whole lot of reforms. Abedu Samre, okay? Ye koyenim. Or maybe it means trafako, and as or maybe it means trafako, and yet the same things, and achieve different results. So what must here? When they were doing the voters register, what was the form of identification? 2020, they now what was the form of identification? They said Ghana card, mewa. And yes, sir. And what they are doing is, I'm so surprised. You know, I'm more twisted. Even at a point, they said EC is doing a new voters ID card, voters register, which is not true. According to the legal framework for the EC, they have to do continuous registration of voters. Okay? And what they are saying is that anybody who is went through 18 and also 12 hours here registered, the person should have national ID as the form of identification. And sana you are throwing it in. Okay? And it's becoming, and I think the government has stated, say, gradually the ID card is becoming the official identification tool for Ghanaians.
Okay.
It's easy, say. That is how they want to do it. Because time when we have voters ID card, they didn't allow anybody to use passport. But they didn't allow anybody to use any other.
Said they figures no say this city. I did say by 2024. People fear, for instance, Dr. Kojo also was thinking about different
So I think, sir, me from my background, when there is an issue and people start to contribute, it actually deepens the discourse. Okay? If we have a problem, the EC has established a platform for all parties to come on board and contribute. Because Sani Ayana from
can I pack? But NDC say because
of Semi Pato. Say who abusuam. Na there be abusuam hia. Say e ka abusuasem. Now corner there be awudi di atema. And I say uko. Now the upese me awu be kan na yemfa. The others ne be kan yemfa. Ufi said what will happen. And that is exactly what they mean.
Why is that a problem? Why shouldn't we? Because you're quite anymore.
Eating economic hardship. To me, they say in the book, Semena Nado may be breaking the 8. I feel the Matthias Chronomu breaking the 8 and a person bebo.
Then you know so now.
And Nipa ni dana so Jane Adukwe Mensa. And she should be careful.
Yeah.
Jane Mensa must be careful.
Look, this boy,
please.
Please. Sometimes please. I beg you. Because no, radio need television.
Please.
Now, Oxy, me, me register me SIM card in next and
warning note na come Jane.
Look.
What kind of boss? We are young guy.
Ni awo ye nina. Was person odi onyene. Ode basabasa.
By being innovative, you the Ghana card.
Innovation.
You the Ghana card.
In 2020. Emra Jane Adukwe mensa ka so be new voters register. Wabrekwa na ye existing voters register. Before cause or buy so be ye call iPack. Ana ye hunu ayi signs ye say mama adult person so da bi da. Ye new voters register da. Enya no crack. Afi ade tie ni da sore ya. Wo de ya beto abonte so be new voters register. Sabi on ka no crack. There is no trust. And what they a new voter time a COVID aba mo say COVID aba. Mo say over $80 million at the new voters register. Ye ya kwato aba. After ye kwa into an election and then mama be catch and say we be oba be register bia no ye be use Ghana card. And you see they want to use Ghana card as the year for voting in 2024 and we know.
You
see what's right?
I say nye.
Unimi
There now more person mo ye.
And utie Kojo afarijaya. O say saa de no mo person mo ye no person mo ye multiple vote because you see me Kojo Danquah. Me ye me friend saying voters card no. Me ye omikro ye osi no.
O say the omo person mo unse nipa de ukotu na no akro say the omo ye no. E wo the tendency to create.
That's what I'm saying.
Multiple. There be also omo. Sade no person. Meba o ka say sade no omo be no. Omo pese omo ye. That is not what he said.
That okay.
Say let me the saba.
Most of
it means that is not what Kojo Afarijan said.
But I'm telling you, that's the motive behind your omo. That's the motive behind it. Why? I don't want him Jane Adukwe mensana. Na obi asabe wunya obi abone okoda military cars ahodo be edu e dey see the fee why obi bone anka military cars
ya bone e wo muti
why wunya obi bibia anka military cars fee and she should know I'm telling you
say kwan ben so no
bet
na fa okay am at for 055 0200
sabe ya ni na na te ha e won obi sabe ya ni na na te ha o jai aya kwafo bone o se pro mo no se kwa wonu so timu bi
am at for
telling her so person of your mind no kwasa na donko mu a obi nka se puduo nse
mon kwa iPack na mon kodi san ko
ensio
Kojo mon kwa iPack kodi ko Kojo mon kwa iPad nkodi nkomo
iPack ye ko hono mu a ne ye ka wotie
sa
nya beka bia ma me ne fa nya adwuma ono oba woni am before ko se dem no mo bo poni wi a ne o ma bo po no ma bo no eno no be implement
me obi wa homa
no obi anya
nya se be solve Ghana problem nya dey be huni but you didn't fa kwa free
ofom Nicolas
Niko ka se free
Azim
yanko Niko
yo anape bada yanko ponase ojida ku ja kan da ho no fa konje do minchi am former MP Madam Katrina be ma Afriku I former art and culture tourism minister na mo kuma asem da da ye kan na Ghana ha amman kan kwa untum kon ya fi NDC sabu waya man ku dia awon da papa de won pɛ ade banana sabu ye yanum NDC for the water kama tu ye voter ID card ya covid we what yabo ntame nkonka ye kaya ibu wonka se da amon ko foda amon ko wonko nkonka na so ne tukwa de na wata ntro wa na wale ye ebi tira Ghana card no so the same thing I want to why bibi da man me kan kwade wonpe na man me ti na o benede anoda we na wojitum ebi me amaye kuidi e yonche Ghana ha oye awa pro na no power ne tumne de ya do wan sabaka amambia na do Danquah gufa do onye Ghana for your kwedi ya pare da ma but I want endis flow what should the ma bia aka Ghana for anka yewu anka ya to pom
berase say ya piano dema
you see pato mami can
be see me more for
the NDC they are suffering from let me put it in quotes the abufumery
Yeah.
From
Odiatem.
Ghana card. You see in course. He said in course.
David.
In course
Because
because
be a buffoonery. What do you mean
David.
by
buffoonery?
Meba.
No.
I want to be a
Let me.
Meba cho udini fa kwa free.
Offer me set aside aqua.
Yes, yanko.
Make us a free Ashoma Domiko Bina.
Yanko says.
Nebato Unim Ghana card na Ghana for Nana Kuford Neba Mema and Omo Panashi Ghanese.
Omo Panashi.
Yes. Why? Because what the name of Tunakwama or say what the Bia Tunakwamu, you say, will be free Kumase, Everton Quakra. Here she saw in Ghana card, no better be to the Nathan Zanka. Not then I thought today. So what they will buy a school and making sure, say, the school fees, uniform, the book, the DI, and a set. Sakrana and Kwa, on a big bonus of more. Now, what organizers are exercise we, not the brain san come out the edin for the date of birth, any mistake baby bemu. Now, challenge the Ghana for whom say, Ubi and connected with Ghana card, some carry Ghana card. Need there could be like Edge of Muma. I'm finding a matter to Nakwem.
Okay.
All
right. Mumfani maybe Antonakwem. He feels that you see, but sometimes you know, I am blaming Crawford more registration. No. Workers maybe a be a quadrodo. And a Ghana for you was how no paying attention to detail. Well, they will be a worker or know about the how free fiaba. They will not come and do the work the way they are supposed to do them. Maybe I didn't say the fact free. Hello?
Hello.
Maybe I told my so mamma na yanko. Udi fa kwa free wadaroma. Hello?
Hello.
Me pa chom ma woni so ne bo di ni fa kwa free. Your friend say okay. Otin who TV no sunti. Onkore has no samra.
Oh sa Ghana card ya. Omo say eno enene Munyaya, young family voters, a register. Munyaya, no cramp on the better. Look, listen there. How many Ghanaians? How many Ghanaians let me register for even the Ghana card?
Me about come on some of the statistics now, but you didn't for free.
If I tell you, Fremen and I was sorry, the cassette must say.
And I am go.
If I tell if we say, I remember we started since 92 in Kasa. TV so and radio so that. But the NDC minute to all you know. Time you would be a question na like 12 for na or man near woman near dear who be any you know. The neck for ban or a big year through her. 2 one answer so Fred the case or the buyer no say even a year me paucho and tough for saying yeah a common command be a Fred the case ma woman and to come more. And did you know, some what you see the so one year you, but Papa ni qua, even who say Papa no, send or yenima. No, Nadia Bapuni say, your Cassachema own tina, no, ne, miss it. The way you mean, your Papa, and Tia Sremo, some lady what 2 1 way.
Also, Cassacha now, dear.
What Cassacha no, and one far advice, Miss Walker. Kojo with the dear Koyan again.
As a man pa move na nenye. Nenye sa.
They are person make can say. One can say. What can say?
I'm off floor.
Baby, that say enye chande be to aba no. Ah mo pre na one can say. Abani an to the time be to 2024 January 7. It's when you be an cancer say akra. Now miles I want try be ni. What statistics? But you didn't for free. Okay, over here go. You.
Be person me so me be mo kakra. Because edu be a Ghana mommy en kan kure. Papa, what to me abe 6 interchanges. No be our bay 1. Na near to me, you know. Papa, near my free education says he can name this form of the other. Sansi Kamna, or the free education, and this is phenomenal the heading. Sansi Kamina, Hona, Yoko Doom so baby moon sound. No better on who said you, can't gun for you in Tibom, saying you're fine.
Well, you're also a kite Tibom.
Now, the bow.
Oh,
Send a maker say, I have said, a bang with the Danquah when you're Raman Mamma about 200.
Also, there are 6 interchanges.
Interchanges, 6 interchanges every river.
Last call, I'll do it for coffee free.
Almost 6 interchanges in here.
Maybe I told you for coffee free. But you say,
your friend Isaac.
Oh, free
6 interchanges.
Oh, the free.
Young quiet.
You know what propaganda before.
I
can't know what I'm supposed to do.
Then better Makaka can say. Hello.
Isaac here too.
The better Makaka can say. Nana do not cut out the dear Danquah on the man, and who said the beam back could be a letter back. Never, I say, another. Ya woman and ada and or buy or bed dada. But about bed dada because
it was it Bernardine said Nana Ado Danquah Akufu Adoze Nada. But Yapon. Time in your but
finally no.
And I'm saying to Abanich upon
and I met us.
You'll be our career. I bet to say to Mudan, the way you be a Mrs. I been in your jiking. Finally.
The unfortunate word that I used, it was unfortunate, but the American can say when this Ghana card idea was conceived by President Kojo.
Unfortunately, we have to end here.
Finally. No, I mean, we intro. Yes, sir, I'm penning another Danquah. Yes, sir. What the Yako, how mu be brave? Oh, baby, I 2 years. Yes, sir, my name is Cram.
Frimpong Bonsu represented the NPP. Samson Kojo represented the NDC. Nyame Adoma Yensha on original 91.9 FM. Adwene Kasajime de no from 2 to 6. Echina anopa 8:30 to 10. And I say from anopa BC 10. The rest of our near Sabbath. Namisha Munina on Camo.